Hi, this is Ron Nutter with another edition of Tech Bites with Ron Nutter. This time I'm going to tell you not one, not two, not three, but 4 things to do to get your smartphone ready to work with your smart home. And that starts now. Well, let's try it again. Well, technology can be a great thing when you got all the buttons in the right order. Tonight we're going to do something a little bit different, or today, I guess I should say actually. I'm getting enough into this that before we get too many building blocks down the road, I want you to get a sense for some things to think about on your smartphone or on your tablet, so that when you start doing, creating your own smart home, or here, or learning how to point with, since things are in reverse, that you can have an idea of how best to be prepared and get the most use out of your phone. So what we're going to do at this point is, through the magic of, as they used to say, in the magic of television, what we'll go through and do here is we will actually go to the smartphone that I've got set up here. And there's several things that can be done. Now, the more you get into doing a smart home, you're going to have a lot of devices to work with. So I've come up with 4 different ways to start with. And if you don't have that much in your smart home, you may do it all in one, and then you may decide that doing it several different ways or organizing it to different folders may be the way to go. So we're going to start out with probably what will be the biggest one for everybody, and that's going to be the main category where you've got things, well, such as you notice, and hopefully my cursor is going to play nice to here, where I've got Google Home, I've got Samsung Smartthings, I've got some bulbs from LIFX, nice bulbs, not cheap, but depending on what you want to do, there's colors you can do with those, and there's a lot of things. Phillips Hue, the bulbs I've got so far that I've set up are basically, they're white bulbs, but they're very dimmable bulbs, and not all of them are. Now, eWeLink or ULink, or however you want to pronounce it, that was the one where we were setting up and I've got it, here we go, right here. It's in the last place you look. This is the Sonos device that I was working on a couple of videos ago. This is the control program to that. I've got the Harmony system that gets my TV talking to the smart home, and it's nice when you walk in at the end of the day, not having to go through the pile of remotes, because the day of the universal remote, let's face it, we'll call it for what it is pretty much there. There are some there, but it's just, are they really worth it? And I've got Amazon Alexa. Now, this is not, this is more functional on the Android platform for right now than it is for iPhone. You can actually talk to Alexa when you're not at home if you've got an Android phone. Amazon has promised to have that feature sometime soon, soon being a relative term. Google Assistant, okay, that's if you've got the Google Home products. Now, the one's labeled Home here is Apple's HomeKit. Now, you won't be able to find a version of that for the Android. Who knows if Apple will ever will. It would be a good thing if they did, because that might get some people to crossovers, not the right term, but to get them to think about getting into the Apple ecosystem. Uma, there's some integration there available. I've got some Sylvania bulbs, and this is one that I showed you in the other videos that the good folks at Sylvania LED Advance have given me. So we'll be doing some videos on those very soon. And then we've got something called IFTTT. And if you've not heard of that before, it stands for if this, then that. And it's got some possibilities. Now, this is where you're gonna get in under the hood. But if, say, and we'll go over here, say there's something you want to do with Smartthings or LIFX that isn't built in. Well, doing recipes with IFTTT will give you some additional functionality. Like if your boss sends you a text message, you can have a particular light flash red. If you've got a team whose color is blue, like one of the college teams, and I don't want to get in licensing trouble by trying to mention names, but if one of their team colors is blue, you could have, say, the LIFX bulbs flash blue when they've just scored a touchdown or when they've won a game. There's all sorts of things you can do here. And let's go back to the next screen, and I'm going to call that one remotes. Now, this one it's kind of a work in progress. As you can tell, I mean, I've got a little bit of everything in my setup, and this is something that you may or may not have in yours to the degree that I do. For example, we've got the Apple TV, and for Siri HomeKit, this is something you'll probably want to think about doing, because this is what's going to let you remote control Siri when you're not at home, as far as if you've got bulbs that are tied into Siri, you've got to have some sort of gateway or hub. There's another term that Apple uses, to where you can get to it remotely. And say, for example, well, I'll show you what we're potentially doing. Hopefully you'll be able to see it here on the screen. Kitchen light on.
Sorry, I can't do that because I can't find music.
Should I try it one more time here? Siri, kitchen light on.
Okay, the kitchen is on.
Siri, kitchen light off.
Okay, the kitchen is off.
So that's what you see when you have it at running with a gateway at home. Now, there are all sorts of things you can do. Roku's got ways of tying it in. So then I'm going to be looking at some things where tying in Amazon Fire TV into both the Amazon ecosystem, and I'm being careful not to use the wake word so that I don't get a bunch of systems waking up trying to do something. Roku, there are some third-party options there. Now, I've got Android TV on here, and that one may seem a little bit nondescript, but I've also got an NVIDIA Shield in my mix, and there's different things that the other devices will do, so each has pluses and minuses, and that's something we'll get into down the road as to how to choose the one that's best for you. When I first started this, there was some training that I was looking at, and the different training companies were not available on all platforms. So, that's how I ended up with at least two of the devices, and let's face it, I enjoy my toys, so that explained how the rest of them came on board. Now, there's another one called Drive, and this one's kind of a catch-all, because you'll see I got one thing that's not related to it, Gas Buddy. I've got an Escort Live right now. I've not been using that because I've been debugging a problem with the Roav VIVA, which ended up not being a problem, ended up being on me. So I've already been having a conversation with folks at Roav, and I'm taking responsibility for that one because I misread something. And audio, well, let's just go ahead and cover it now. In an earlier video about the Roav VIVA, I said once I started using it and Waze together, I lost audio in Waze. Well, come to find out somewhere in the process, and I don't remember making the change, I muted Waze within Waze. I don't remember doing that, but now when I tell the Roav VIVA I want directions, it brings up Waze, and I've got audio from it and Roav. So I'm going to go into some more detail with it in another video. So these are the things that I use commonly when I'm driving. So that has, some ways of saving and some things. Now on the Apple platform, things are going to be, you don't have an even parity. You notice this one says Android Wear. Well, we'll be covering in future videos. I've got an Asus Smartwatch, and trust me, it's been nice. And there's all sorts of integration that we're going to start looking into where I can control things from here. Now, granted, it's going to have to be on my home network, or I'll have to be linked by Bluetooth to a phone, whether it's iPhone or Android. I've been working primarily on the Android side because you'll see I've got just the Android Wear app here. They're depending on the smartwatch you've got, and the Asus I've got does not have an iOS equivalent app. So this is all the things as you start working with the different components, you'll see that it may affect what you choose, what you do on things. The interesting thing is with the Android phones, there are some starter phones that I'll call. I mean, there's phones you can get for probably under $150 with no contract. And something to look at is, excuse me, tried to grab that one in time, looking at the airtime for your phone, because that's something that you're going to want to think about. Unless I'm trying to get back to the main screen here. Well, let's just call that one for what it was, and we'll just go full screen. That's something where you'll want to look at your airtime plan. Now, I switched my phone to Straight Talk a little over a year ago, and where I was paying AT&T right at $100 a month, or a little more by the time you get all the taxes and fees, I'm now looking at $45 a month. And the unlimited plan that I was on with AT&T was not truly an unlimited plan. You started getting nasty emails when you started getting close to your, limit, which really wasn't there. So I looked at, why should I pay $100 a month when I can pay $45? And it was just changing out the SIM card. But now if you're interested in going through that process, I'm in the process of looking for affiliate link. I've been very happy with Straight Talk. I have not had any problems, and it's fairly seamless. So that's something that all these things are what you'll have to look at as you go through the process. And that's all part of the decisions in doing your own smart home, that you don't want to just pull the trigger and order everything and try to do it once. Take it one step at a time. And by showing you what's on the iPhone, that was where I wanted to give you an idea of what that was going to look like. And once I get the kinks worked out of showing you the Android phone, then I'll want to do that as well. But I guess what I keep trying to get back to is we're just in the sweet spot right now. I mean, who would have thought this is now 2018. I remember seeing the Dick Tracy movies and reading the comments where he would talk to the police station or call for help using his wristwatch, and we all thought that was sci-fi. Well, folks, we're in that world now. I can make calls from this. It's just not as maybe fluent as, at least I can hear them anyway. I've not tried to fully do the two-way. Apple's watch is a little more adept at that. Of course, for the money they're charging, I would expect that and more. So there are all sorts of things to look at. I've got links to the different things that I've got in my smart home implementation there. It's all in the show notes. You'll be seeing that as this gets posted. There are any affiliate links I put in there. It's going to help me with paying the cost of it, because a lot of this I'm having to pay for out of my own pocket. I enjoy working with that kind of thing. So help me help you. If you have anything you want me to look at, please let me know, and I'll see what I can do, because I've already got almost 100 videos planned right now, and I'm going to try to do about 2 a week, because I want to be decent videos. I'm trying to keep them within about 10 to 15 minutes a piece. Please, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You'll get notified there. I'm also building an email list, so if you click on that link, it will let me tell you about when I find special deals that I may need to get the word out on, instead of waiting for the time to do a specific video on it. If you're seeing this on YouTube, on Facebook, then certainly follow me there. But I'm trying to have everybody on YouTube as much as I can. But it's whatever platform is most convenient for you. So you let me know how I can help you, and the rest will take care of itself. That here's the link you see right here on the screen. That's the direct connection to me here on YouTube. Please leave me a comment if there are any questions I can answer for you, because it's making your own smart home has been made to be harder than it really needs to be. Yeah, there's some things that it may take some creative solutions to, but for the most part, there's no reason why anybody can't do their own smart home. And having a well-organized smartphone or tablet is certainly going to make that process that much easier. So thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you again soon.